Rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
We're back.
We're back. How long's it been?
Just one week off.
That's all. Okay.
We were depressed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we chickened out of doing a pod after the Yankees got swept by the hated Astros.
For people on YouTube, Matt is providing some comedy.
He's providing something.
My face is just naturally funny.
Hmm.
You do look so much younger without the facial hair.
It's really interesting.
So when I had the mustache, I was told I looked 5 years older. And then when the mustache went away, I was told I looked 10 years younger.
I could definitely see that. Yep. I could definitely see that. Is this the first time? When's the last time you went without facial hair?
Like completely clean shaven like this?
Probably about a year.
Wait, really? It's only...
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing... We've been doing the pod that long and we didn't see you clean shaven.
Pretty sure.
Really?
Maybe not. Maybe I've been a lazy bones for a little while longer than that.
Okay, well, let me rephrase the question. Why did you go clean shaven a year ago? And when's the last time that you went clean shaven for more than a week?
I don't remember either. I'm pretty sure the last time I did go clean shaven, though, I was like trying to trim the beard and I made a mistake. And it's like, and I was like, well, shit, it's got to go.
Wow.
It's quite a sight.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely hop over to Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the comment, the description. Friend of the podcast, Matt Seemler, had. I think it was like, you look like you're ready to yell at a youth baseball team or something. I can't remember what it was.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Like,
you're reminding me of someone. You're now that you're clean shaven. Your face is kind of reminding me of somebody. I can't think of who it is.
That's why I keep the beard on for this.
Right. Going for comedy though. That's pretty good.
Can't deal with it. All right, boys. Well, let's talk about our beers. I know people have been wondering what we've been drinking the past couple of weeks.
I know they've been dying to know.
Yeah.
You got to start, Colin. Come on.
All right. I am drinking. Getting it out of my glazed orange.
Oh, nice.
Matt Root.
What do you think? It's not the milkshake version.
Yeah. When I typed it into Untap, that was the first thing that came up, and I got sad. It's like
the milkshake version's even better.
Yeah. This is good.
Glazed orange is one of the few beers I will buy on repeat because I like it that much. Normally, I don't buy the same beer twice. It's very rare that I do.
Oh.
Who makes it?
Hop Butcher for the World.
Where are they out of?
Chicago.
Okay.
But every once in a while, I'm lucky and a couple of their tasty beverages make it to the Silly Juice store near me.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I like blood orange in general, so I'm definitely all. Most fruit. I don't like super fruity beers. Like I don't.
It's got the orange in it, actually.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's just got hops in there. It's just super citrus.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. You would know better though, Matt, and like if there's even a difference between a quote unquote fruity beer and like a sour beer, for example. I don't.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. You can dedicate a whole nother podcast to that. Ethan, what do you got?
The Matt Root beer masterclass podcast. I have also, courtesy of Mr. Matt Root.
Awesome.
Me and Colin are just like constantly just like drinking beers that Matt sent to us. OK, which is a collab between Other Half and the OK Beer Company. Just a regular old IPA, not a double or a triple, which is shocking. Coming from, a brewery like Other Half, I feel like everything is like a double or a triple these days. So it's only 5.5%, which is very low. for these kind of beers, or at least for what other half usually does. And it's it's fine. It's good. It's not
It's
as
a beer.
I mean, I'll still take this over like any beer that you would get at like a run of the mill bar, you know, like your national domestics and shit like that or whatever. But it's definitely not like their top notch shit. But what I was going to ask is this OK Beer Company I haven't heard of before.
I haven't either. So that's I don't even know
Okay.
what they're out at, where they're based out of.
Now this is might be a first.
Seriously.
OK Beer Company.
Matt Root not knowing the brewery rundown off the top of his head.
So Ethan, do you have the can with you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing then the pull tab is probably blue, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Pull tab is blue.
Blue pull tab means it was brewed at their Rochester, Canandaigua location.
No.
The OK Beer Company is in Honeoye Falls. Honeoye, whatever weird name that is.
Yeah, one of the Rochester suburbs-ish.
Which is
interesting.
Do you guys remember
30 miles away, something like that?
There was a brewery down there called the only beer I can remember was like it was called CBs or Custom Brew Crafters.
In Rochester?
In Honeoye Falls.
I've never actually been there before.
There was a brewery down there called Custom Brew Crafters. They made a beer that was popular in upstate New York called Alpha Monkey. Caged Alpha Monkey, I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And they made a couple others. They made like a mixed Scruffy's Scotch Ale or something. They were largely not largely just beers. I visited them once and was like kind of mad that I went out of my way to go there, that kind of place. But it looks like the OK Beer Company is now in their spot. So
okay.
Because Custom Brew Crafters closed a long time ago.
And
the reason they were called Custom Brew Crafters is because they tried pioneering the beer or the brewing model of like if Colin's Bar wanted their own special beer, they could brew Colin's beer at Custom Brew Crafters, but they didn't brew good beer. So
cool idea.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. Interesting. I also have other half beer. It's actually, as I'm thinking about it, almost a year old. I got this last year at Pastry Town in New York City. It's called Over 1 Billion Served. It's a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout with vanilla soft serve ice cream, pecans, cacao nibs or cacao, and sea salt.
Interesting. And
it clocks in at a whopping 15%.
Holy fuck. That's getting wasted.
I probably should have drank it a little fresher.
Really? I thought these kind of stouts got better as they aged, no?
Your run-of-the-mill bourbon barrel stout, yes. But heavy adjunct beers?
Heavy adjunct meaning all like tons of those additions?
Yeah. They recommend drinking within 6 months. So like other half says keep cold and please drink within 6 months.
So you're 6 months late, okay.
Yeah. But it's still tasty. Still, you get some of the nuts, you get some of the ice cream in there. So it's tasty.
Okay.
I almost opened a even stronger beer tonight, but I'm saving that.
Yeah. Special occasion?
Maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
I have two questions before we talk about likely baseball. First question is for Ethan. You said you would be here at 8:30 and you did not show up until at least 1 minute, if not 2 minutes late. I'm just wondering
8:32 or 8:33. It was like that. Okay. For me, being within 3 minutes of the time that I said is a fucking miracle. You should be on your knees thanking Christ right now. Okay? That I managed that. All right? Basically, I overestimated the time that it was going to take me to heat up my food, eat my food, and get all my shit downstairs. So I should have said 8:30 to 8:35 range. I will never make this mistake again. I will always give a range. Maybe next time I'll say I'll be there at some point between 8:30 and 10:30.
That's usually what it is. So. I think we got the title of this episode. You should be on your knees. Thank you, Christ.
That should be like a ringtone.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Terrible.
All right. Second question is for both of you. I thought of this because, Matt, of you drinking a beer that's like, been aged a little bit, for lack of a better word. Do you think that we should do a special episode or 2 episodes where we like do fancy wine one night, or do like a fancy bourbon or something that ages, for a long time, and just mix it up?
I can crack open the liquor cabinets.
So I think this is a really interesting idea. And it's funny that you're bringing it up now, because this just came up here in our house recently. We had a little Halloween get together over the weekend. And I was gifted last week a bottle of wine by one of my families. They knew it was my birthday, and they gave me a bottle of wine. And this family, they like to drink nice wine. They're very classy, all this kind of thing, right? So I was curious. I Googled the wine while we were at the party on Saturday. On average, like $65-$70 for a bottle.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so that's like a nice bottle. That's like 4 times more than I would ever spend on a bottle of wine. Now, and the reason for that is because, as April Ludgate famously and correctly says in Parks and Recreation, all wine tastes the same. If you spend more than $5 on wine, you're being duped, whatever. She goes on this whole rant. It's very good. And so for me, I will say this. We compared that nice wine to like a $5 wine that I had gotten at Aldi. And in that case, the difference was very clear. I still wouldn't have been able to tell you that the nice wine was like $65 worth. Like, I doubt that I would have been able to tell the difference between that one and say like a $20 or $30 bottle. Maybe sure. Even some really good, like $10 or $15, And what's funny about that, I can't remember if I told this story also, but when I used to work at the Barcelona wine bar, we would do wine tastings occasionally. And all of my coworkers, all the other servers, right? They talk about like, oh yes, I'm tasting this and that and the other thing, getting notes of this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you're all fucking full of shit. It's red wine. Like it's red wine. Maybe it's more bitter. Maybe it's more sweet. It's red wine. Okay. Don't give me all this. Anyways, I did think that it was very interesting, that this wine that I had been gifted was actually like pretty nice. And it did make me reflect on the fact that I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So if we were to do this on the pod, I probably wouldn't, I don't know that I would spend the money on something fancy, because I don't think I would actually be able to tell the difference, but it would be fun to do like a blind test sometime.
Yeah, I will start by saying I know very little about wine.
It's made from grapes.
So that's it, man. Yeah. I was out there like smushing like red crayons and coons and just hoping that I would win. But kind of and also not that's a very nice gift that you got. But
yeah, very nice. Yeah.
The mantra that I've been told to kind of stick by is the stick in the kind of $15 to $20 range if you're looking for a nice bottle, unless you know what you're talking about. Because I was told the difference between like an $8 bottle and an $18 bottle is going to be probably pretty noticeable. But the difference between an $18 bottle and a $28 bottle is going to be much less. And then kind
interesting.
Anything above that. And again, there are people out there who people to wine are Matt to beer. There are a gazillion people out there who could, tell me the intricacies of all the different wines out there. So I know as a what's the name for a wine Luddite, that is my rule of thumb. And I'll tell you, the wines I've been enjoying with the lady friend are $12 bottles of Argentinian Malbec. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. It's very tasty. We did a wine blending class as part of our one of our first couple dates. Hopefully we can pick up that bottle, cool. Our bottles in the next 4 weeks or so, and we can try that out too. But yeah, I know nothing. Usually I'll call my dad and be like, what's a nice bottle I can bring as a gift? Because I don't know what the hell I'm worrying about. So
is your dad into wine?
Oh, my parents are hugely into wine.
Are they? I didn't realize that. They're like legit enophiles?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So
they were into wine a lot, much earlier than they were beer.
Oh, interesting. So Mama Root, if you're listening, no offense was intended. I'm just joking. I know that there are lots of people with more sophisticated palates than me that actually can tell the difference.
They're the ones that gave me that rule of thumb.
Yeah.
You don't worry at all. It's because now that you brought it up, we're gonna go into it. I bought Mom and Pop Root a $50 bottle of Cabernet one year for their anniversary, and they were honey, they were so gracious that I bought it for them. But when I told them how much it was, they were like, ugh. Like they still have the bottle. It's a very beautiful bottle. It's got a painted handprint of the winemaker right on the bottle.
Oh, cool.
But I definitely got upsold by the person at Harborview Liquors in Syracuse. So they, again, that was kind of where they were, they were part of that, like, even they don't normally drink really expensive wine like that. They can find what they really like in that, $15 to $35 range,
Cool. Cool.
And again, so don't worry, you did not offend them. Mm. They are my guides. And that's why my dad is like, when we'll drink bourbon, he's like, oh, I get oaky and leather notes. It's like, I'm like, I don't get it. I just get vanilla, caramel, and wood.
Right. But I love the idea, Kyle. That's the moral of the story. Yeah. So that would be fun to do. And actually a bourbon is something I'd be willing to like shell out a little extra for one at some point, because I do notice a little bit more differences there. So like as a treat, that could be kind of fun.
Let's do some research. We can like maybe do it around our holiday episode.
Oh yeah, that could be nice.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to a fireplace, and we're hoping to get it going this winter.
Ooh,
so I can
chimney cleaned out.
Well, we got to check into all of that.
Oh, Colin, do you have a fireplace?
Oh, we do.
Oh shit, we need to do a fireside chat.
Fireside
episode.
Bourbon episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking good.
Love that. She would be a live audience, live studio audience member again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never told you the story about how Toddy almost killed us all.
I don't think so.
Stella it was Christmas of 2020. Right around that time, because one of the firefighters stepped on a Christmas light. I'll never forget. Middle of the night, our carbon monoxide detector went off.
Ooh, that's scary.
And it was because she closed the flute of the chimney, and it wasn't like really bad. I mean, who knows how bad it like actually could have gotten. It was bad enough that the carbon monoxide alarm went off. And so, we called the fire department at like 2:00 in the morning, and they came, and they were like, they even said, they were like, it wasn't that bad, but we cleared everything out. You guys are, good to go back in and everything. But like Stella was looking all over the place, like the first time she had ever been up that late at night. But I was like, wow. I'm glad we checked the fire alarms and the CO2 monitors. Ooh, hot tip for people too. Very common for Airbnbs or any of those type of rentals outside of hotels. It says it in the listing if they have a carbon monoxide detector, but it's really simple to get one that you can travel with. You should always bring one with you because A, you never know if it's working. I mean, you could test it if you want, I guess, but B, it's just good to have a backup just in case either they lie about it on the listing or they don't have it. It's like one of the worst ways to die, I think.
And while we're going over it, safety Matt stepping in here. If your carbon monoxide detector goes off, what's the first thing you do, guys? Go open a fucking window right away. Yes. Away. If you have a headache, stick your head out the window right away. Because the headache's the symptom you're going to get before you pass out. So get outside as quick as you possibly can.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was what you'd have to ask Toddy. She's probably going to be embarrassed that we told the story.
Yeah,
okay, fine. You know what? In Super Bowl Sunday during a blizzard in Cleveland, I was preparing a soup for the Super Bowl party that I was going to, and I burned the shit out of bacon while I was wearing my underwear. So you know what? It was in the fraternity house when I was the house parent. It automatically called the fire department. I had to first put pants on. And then so I was standing outside in gym shorts and a t-shirt in the snow. And I just walked out my pan of burnt bacon to the fire department and went, it was me. So yeah, that shit happens.
Holy shit. Oh man, that's a great story too. Okay.
So now when I make that specific soup, I buy pre-cooked bacon.
Oh man. Nice.
I'll make it for you guys one of these days. It's my mom's recipe for a clone of Olive Garden's Tuscan soup. Super bad for you. Super bad. It's like cream, potatoes, sausage, and bacon and kale.
But delicious.
I like quadruple the kale in there, so it makes me feel like I'm healthy, but I'm still good. Also, this will be my fireside chat audience member.
The podcat.
Meow.
Nothing wrong with it.
Meow.
He's a good boy.
Meow. Purr. Meow.
Oh yeah, I think I heard a purr. Thought I did a second ago.
Okay, get down.
Sweet.
Get down.
All right. Well, now that we've bored listeners for probably at least 25.
No, they got embarrassing stories. They got good safety tips. They got brewery history. They got bourbon notes. They got wine drinking tips. This is an episode chock full of valuable tidbits. So
a lot of different tidbits. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Valuable. We'll leave to the audience to assess that for us and let us know. I guess before whatever you guys want to talk about, I am down. I will say two things. First thing, I will just give a quick shout out to cousin Greg, the Stinky Phillies, as his boys. Well, I refer to them as Stinky Phillies because his boys refer to the Yankees as the Stinky Yankees. So rooting hard for them.
Yep, because fuck the Astros.
Crush those fucking cheaters. 2-1 right now, up 2-1 in the series. I don't know what the score is.
0-0.
I just checked, third inning.
Okay, 0-0. Let's go, baby.
The cheapest StubHub seats were like $1,000 today.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Also, a quick note about the Phillies. Apparently the Astros have been calling around town looking for catering, and they had two different famous Philadelphia restaurants tell them fuck off.
Oh my god.
Off, but like one of the guys, Mike's Barbecue, posted a video of like, there's no way in hell I'm cooking meat or cooking food for those Astros.
Oh my god, hilarious.
That's
like
great.
Mike's Barbecue and Angelo's Pizza or Angelo's Sandwiches or something like that both said like, fuck no, we're not going to cater for you guys.
So good.
Amazing. Yeah.
Way to go, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Cousin Greg, if you're listening to this and the Phillies win, meet me downtown on Saturday for a beer.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to,
by the way, you don't actually have to do that.
The other thing I wanted to mention really quickly, I think it's probably worse for me because in October there are 3 sports, whereas like for you guys, traditionally there's really only 2 sports. But this year, if you cared about SU football, there was a 3rd sport to throw in there. October, I've now officially like dedicated to being called spooky season, because I almost never come out of October with all my dreams intact still.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Yankees are usually eliminated. Penn State loses a game. They're done. They lost 2 games in October. So they're certainly done for the national championship this year. And the Giants are usually terrible, but they couldn't even get out of October undefeated, although they are 6-2 heading into their bye week this week. So that's been a pleasant surprise. But
What'd Saquon do this past week?
He did well. Scored touchdown, 70-something yards.
Okay, all right, not great, not terrible.
Yeah. Geno fucking Smith was slinging the ball. He looked like Aaron Rodgers on a couple throws, like vintage Aaron Rodgers. I was like, what the hell is going on? But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that here on forward, whenever October comes around, just know that I may get a little moody. I may be very excited going into October, but very quickly things will
get crushed.
Likely turn around. Yeah. I was even thinking, I meant to look it up, but I think there's only been 2 times this century that Penn State has gone into November undefeated. Once was 2019. That one I know for sure. and they promptly lost the first weekend of November. I think maybe 2008, they went into November undefeated and lost to Iowa for their only regular season loss. But the last time that they like were truly deep into it was in the 90s. And then, the Giants have had their success, and obviously the Yankees have had their success too. But the last 10 years have been brutal. Just not a lot of fun in October.
I'm going to curse you, though, every time you say spooky season, because I think that's the dumbest phrase ever. But every freaking hack newscaster on a morning show in the country, ooh, it's spooky season. Ooh.
Well, it truly is spooky season when you have fucking Aaron Judge hitting the same baseball that everyone else hits at that launch angle, and with that speed off the bat, it goes like traditionally it'll go 414 feet, and his ball goes 380 something feet and gets caught at the top of the wall. Like, what the fuck else are you going to contribute to it? It's fucking spooky. I'm just kidding. Obviously,
you should have hit the ball harder.
He hit the ball 100 and something miles an hour off his bat.
Yeah, but Schwarber hit it like 119 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, we need to accept, like, obviously they had a special start, but everything went right. And once all the injuries hit.
Can I say one thing, two things? Two things I want to say, and then I'm just not going to talk probably for the rest of the podcast, and you guys can say all you want. The first thing is, I don't want to hear, especially from Matt, but anyone else, I don't want to ever hear again any comp between Josh Donaldson and Gio Urshela. Like, the people who are trying to make comps.
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about this, yeah.
Yeah, when did I make a comp?
I'm not. I'm just saying you would be the type of person.
No. He needs to be gone.
Yeah. Well, okay. Anyway, I'm so sick of people making this comp, because it was not like it was this straight up switch for Josh Donaldson. The reason they made that trade was to get a shortstop and to get rid of Gary Sanchez, and they just had to take on the $50 million in Josh Donaldson. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. I'm gonna die on that hill. Second thing, God, I got so
fired up.
The second thing.
You want me to just vamp a little bit while you? There you go.
No. Here it is. You cannot convince me that the Philadelphia Phillies have a better roster construction than the New York Yankees. You cannot convince me. So I do not want to hear that Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner don't do enough for that organization to get over the hump. The Phillies are a fucking train wreck when it comes to certain things, and they have just gotten hot at the right time and gotten lucky in some cases. Yes, they have some really great players, but you cannot convince me that the Phillies have a better roster than the Yankees.
Maybe they're just being managed better.
that part partially could be true.
Well, I want to get into that if we want to get into all of that, we can, or if we want to wait until like the true off season, we can, whatever you guys want. But the one thing I'll say, Colin, I don't disagree with that last point necessarily, but after all the injuries, like if we take a look at the ALCS roster we were just putting out, I mean, it was nothing special. It was honestly, it was pretty scary to look at. I mean, Nestor Cortez,
spooky, some might say.
Spooky. It was spooky. Aaron Judge is the only like reliable offensive threat. Rizzo when he's on, but he's streaky. Same with G. Glaber is okay, right?
Okay. I will completely shut up after this. You are potentially making valid points, but you are making points based on the fact that you watch the Yankees more than any other team. I just find it hard to believe that there are not streaky players on the Phillies. That there are not players like Didi was on the team, to start the season. They've had to replace with younger people with no names, with whatever.
Fair enough.
It's like, so you may be making valid points, but like I don't even know if we can make a fair comparison without actually knowing as much about the Phillies as we do about the Yankees.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's true. And so in my case, then let's just not even say that it's about comparing so much in anymore, but just the idea that like the confidence that we felt early in the year in the roster. I mean, for the way everybody was playing at the time, it was totally, it was totally reasonable. But after everybody came back down to earth, except for Judge, and all the injuries set in, like, it was not a good looking roster. And, granted, injuries really fucked us, right? Like, if DJ hadn't gotten hurt, if Benintendi hadn't gotten hurt, who knows? He might have been like a really solid bat for us. No power. But I mean, he was hitting 300. Not that we care about batting average, but like he might have been, a really valuable part of the lineup. And then obviously, people like, Holmes did come back, but people like Michael King and Zach Britton, that goes with Chad Green. Obviously, that all goes without saying. But it was like, obviously we hate the Astros, but like the Astros are really fucking good, and they have all their big guys. I think I don't think any of their big people are hurt. And it's no surprise we got swept. So,
I mean, I think it's a surprise we got swept. What type of psychological hold do the Astros have over the Yankees? Like
that's a good question.
What the Phillies did last night to the Astros,
stomped them.
They have the Yankees haven't done that to the Astros since maybe like game 4 or 5 of. What was that, like
2017?
Or I think of the 2017 where the Astros just looked completely helpless, and that's how they looked yesterday. And who knows? There's a long series still to play and everything, but I'm like, how can the Phillies pound them 7-0, hit 5 home runs?
Yeah,
and the Yankees like
can barely score one.
Barely, yeah. I don't know.
Well, while we're talking spooky season, I'm going to bring up a scary word.
Oh.
Choke.
Joke?
Choke.
Oh, choke.
You've got the team that led the league in defensive runs saved make key errors in games 3 and 4.
Wait, we led the league in defensive runs saved?
Yes.
Holy fuck, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Didn't IKF make a really big error in game 4?
IKF and Bader.
And he was excellent. Oh, and Bader, we know. Well, Bader, okay. In Bader's case, I mean, I'm not blaming him entirely. Yeah, Judge ran in front of him. I don't know. That was just a garbage play in general. But anyway, sorry, Matt, keep going.
Hicks and Oswaldo. Then,
yeah.
First of all, by the way, Hicks can go suck some eggs and get off this team.
Yeah, really, really a bummer.
We need to do like a Carl Crawford, Josh Beckett trade and get rid of Hicks and Donaldson and send them to fucking Miramar. I don't know. But
like
so I mean,
yeah,
it could be as simple as the Phillies sluggers showed up. I mean, Aaron Judge again suddenly looked. By the way, I'm not going to boo Judge. I like the fucking Yankees idiot.
Oh, that's something actually I do want to talk about.
So no, I'm not going to Judge was amazing. But he looked like he was back in his rookie season swinging at some of those breaking balls again, which is nuts because even in the Cleveland series, if you remember in 2020, when they faced off against Cy Young Award winner Shane Bieber for the Cleveland, then Indians, now Guardians, they were they had a plan. They took every breaking ball that was low because it was going to end out of the strike zone. They made him look. I mean, they chased him early in the game, and this year it was just the opposite. That Cleveland, I love Cleveland. You guys know that, but that series should have gone to 5 games. We were the better team.
Yeah,
we played a division of 3 other winning teams plus the Red Sox versus a division full of no other team with a winning record. We were the better team. Even though they won 3 or 4 Gold Gloves, but anyway, we were the better team. So
yeah, I actually really quickly want to talk just a little bit. I want to add a little bit to the defensive comment because that's super interesting. And so I've just been checking a few guys their defensive runs saved this year, and obviously measuring defense can be tough, and there are different measurements that people rely on. From what I can see, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, the stat-minded people do seem to place like the most emphasis on defensive runs saved. This does seem to be sort of the go-to for defense now, in the way that WAR is for an all-encompassing stat.
Yeah.
So a couple things I want to point out, just to Matt's point about, I mean, I knew the Yanks were good on D this year. I didn't know we led the league. IKF was 6th among shortstops, I think, or 7th, which is excellent. Josh Donaldson, as horrible as he was on offense, he was like 7th among third basemen. So he was top 10 defender by DRS. Glaber was, I think, 5th, I just saw. 5th among second basemen, which is really outstanding. And one point I want to make is I love Anthony Rizzo. People love to talk about him being great defensively. And he was earlier in his career, but not the last couple of years. He was garbage this year. He was 27th. So, you know, with defense, we have to not rely so much on our eyes, even though we want to, right? We see somebody make a really nice play. We see Derek Jeter make that jumping throw in the hole, and we think, oh gosh, he's so good. But what you don't recognize is all of the balls that get past him because he has no range, right? And that's why he was such a bad defensive shortstop. And so that's why we can't really trust our eyes in that sense. But I just wanted to point that out. But very cool. And I mean, I got to say, I like having a team that was like really good defensively. I knew we were good. I didn't know we were leading the league.
Choke's a good word, Matt.
Yeah.
It's a scary word.
It's a scary word. Spooky.
It's that C word that we don't like here.
Yeah. Oh, so let's talk about Judge for a minute and getting booed. And obviously there's been a lot of speculation on what he's going to do as a free agent. You know, lots of people are saying the Yankees have to get him back no matter what. Lots of people are saying that maybe they'll chicken out because of the money, or maybe he is sick of New York after getting booed in the playoffs after having like a top 5 offensive season of all time. And frankly, I'm not making any predictions, but if I were him, I'd be kind of feeling the last one. Like if I was getting booed in the playoffs after the year that I just had, I would be really pissed. And also I've read that there are rumors that he's pretty upset with how other people were made to feel by the fans. Now I get it, right? Like in these sports, the fans can do what they want. They can boo, blah, 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 blah. But booing Judge in the playoffs, I know he was horrible in the playoffs, but booing him after the year he had, to me, is unfathomable and really fucking dumb. I'm curious what you guys think about that. But like, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides, you know what, fuck this place, I'm going back to California. I don't want to deal with this.
He did unfollow the Yankees on social media. Ooh.
Yeah. There you go.
I can imagine someone out west plopping a half billion dollar contract in front of him. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about, like, not only was he upset at how his teammates were treated, he also at least one point this year had to run out to the outfield to stop a fight between an opposing player and the fans in right field.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I will say the energy was, when I was there walking around during the rain delay, was just for a rain delay for a game that hadn't even started, was on the brink of unruly. Like, everyone yelling "fuck Josh Naylor." Like, I can take the "fuck Rob Manfred" quote chance. That's fine. I'm here for that.
That's a commissioner's job. Yeah.
It was pretty nasty walking around that place throughout the day.
Interesting.
So I wouldn't blame him. I really wouldn't. And I feel like it's kind of a slap in the face. Remember how the season started, right? The Yankees, not only, so whatever, they didn't come to an agreement, that's fine. But the Yankees held a press conference to put the contract out there to say, well, he didn't take this money, blah, 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 blah. Like, what are you gonna accomplish here other than making him look bad, the Yankees? Like,
yeah, that was really a dick
how you
move.
Want to start a season off with somebody you're trying to keep?
That was a shitty move.
This money. Well, yeah, guess what? You didn't offer him nearly enough.
Yeah, shitty move by the Yankees leaking that. Absolutely.
Fuck you, Randy Levine.
Yeah, or whoever. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Colin?
I don't know. This is a hard one.
Booing Judge after the year he just had.
Oh, that part of it, yeah, is fucking stupid.
Okay,
But,
all right.
You know what he's thinking, or what the. I'll read you guys a couple tweets from Andy Martino.
Oh, real quick, Jose Trevino, number 1 in defensive runs saved in the league.
Gold Glove.
Yep. And I knew he got the Gold Glove, but that's actually backed up by DRS. That's fucking amazing. All right, sorry, Colin, continue.
Yeah. Okay, so the quotes say, more than one Yankee player has told his agent this week that playing at the stadium last weekend was a unusually brutal experience. It was hard for many teammates to believe that fans booed Judge. Surprised by the tone of fan and media reaction, rivals were shocked too. One longtime exec texted to say he was struck by the irrational opinions on Cashman and Boone. I get it's the World Series or bust, but damn, they're spoiled. Yeah. The gap between industry and fan perceptions of Cashman and Boone is particularly striking. Yes. Rivals consider Cashman one of the greatest executives in sports and say that Boone will immediately become a coveted free agent if the Yankees fire him. Narrator, they're not firing him. They've already said he's coming back. Not Cashman yet, though. Cashman and Boone can take it, though. They're not going anywhere unless Hal Steinbrenner tells them to. And while that's not expected, we're still awaiting word, and there are no guarantees either way. Now, the clubhouse itself feels crushed under the weight of that brand more than I've ever seen. Players don't want to be Yankees. The team needs to find a way to change the message and tone, though after all these years, doing so might be near impossible.
Yeah.
Okay. But speaking of changing the tone, they got to start. You guys heard about what happened before Game 4, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
So
that was their mental health coach, apparently.
Tone is not just like, basically, to be quick, one of the coaches, to try and change the tone, showed footage of the Red Sox 3-0 series comeback against the Yankees as motivation for the Yankees to try and come back against the Astros. What the hell are you thinking?
That was the mental health coach, is what I read. Yeah. Is that it was his idea, and that's kind of shocking because mental health is supposed to obviously be his specialty. And yeah, I don't know. Seems like maybe not the wisest move. Yeah.
Well, listen, the reason I'm struggling is because I don't agree with everything that was said in those quotes. I agree partially with the Cashman and Boone assessments. I don't agree that this is the worst atmosphere for Yankee players in team history. I mean, seriously, have people really forgotten what it was like in the 80s and the early 90s to play for the New York Yankees? I mean, do we need to dig up the stories about Greg Maddux and all these great players actually saying no to playing for the Yankees? I mean, that doesn't happen these days. I mean, players get locked up early because of extensions and the way that money happens. But when they get on the market and the Yankees want them, the Yankees get their player. The Yankees got Garrett Cole.
Corbin.
The Yankees didn't want Patrick Corbin. That's why he's not with the Yankees.
I don't know.
The Yankees didn't want Bryce Harper. That's why he's not with the
Yankees. We want Justin Verlander?
I think they offered him a contract, but if they really wanted Justin Verlander, they would have blown it out.
I disagree with you. If the Yankees want him, the Yankees get him. I don't know if I feel like that's the case the past couple of years.
Who?
Shohei Ohtani.
That's all right. That's a good one.
That's not Yankees. That was he wanted to be on the West Coast so he could be closer to Japan.
But if the Yankees wanted him, they should get him, right? By your logic, if the Yankees want him, they should get him.
Okay, but Shohei Ohtani did not say no for the reason that Greg Maddux said no, because
the Yankees probably wanted Mike Trout too, right?
Yeah, but you can't get Mike Trout when he's getting locked up with an extension.
He never became a free agent.
I know he didn't become a free agent, but it was very clear before he even signed the deal that the Yankees wanted him.
Yeah, but again,
he took the deal anyway.
Matthew, you like to poke the bear.
I am poking a lot because there's a lot of instances now where the Yankees have missed out on marquee free agents. I think it's not an attractive place to go.
No.
Max Scherzer.
No.
Twice. Max Scherzer twice.
Did they want Scherzer?
I don't think they did.
Why wouldn't they?
I want to know how many people they've offered contracts to,
right? That have turned them down.
I have a feeling
that's what I want to know.
I mean, think about the number of players that have no trade clauses to go to the Yankees. That's just as damning as them turning on a free agent contract. If they say you can't trade me to the Yankees, I don't want to play for them.
Give me the list. It's probably 5 people. Give me the list.
More than that. I will research and find
I want the list. All right. This is just my opinion, but I just don't think it's that bad. And I don't think it's that unprecedented for the way that the fans are acting. I'm not saying that it's right. And I'm not saying that even the players should put up with it, but I just don't agree with the assessment that it's like this shit show in New York right now. Like that doesn't seem right to me. Does Judge want to leave because players have been booing his buddies on the Yankees? That I also find really hard to believe. I mean, I know we just crushed the mental skills guy, but this guy cleared Judge. I wrote about this in my book, to be mentally fit to play for New York. And I think he has shown in pretty much every way that he is very clearly fit to play in New York. He can handle that pressure. Now, does he want to continue to handle the pressure that just is upon him? That may be a different story. Maybe he is over it. Maybe he does want to go somewhere else. And I can totally respect that. But for him to be motivated to move on because of how his teammates have been treated, that part I don't know if I necessarily buy. I think he would be more upset, especially hearing the way that like Jeter has started to come out since he's left his role with the Marlins, and he hasn't exactly directly bashed Cashman, but it is very clear that him and Cashman still have a very cold relationship, and he is not happy about those negotiations that happened in 2010 that I also wrote about in my book. And Brian Cashman was not wrong in those negotiations. Derek Jeter was wrong in this situation, but that doesn't matter, at the end of the day. And Aaron Judge may feel the exact same way. I don't think Brian Cashman was wrong in the offer that the Yankees made him, but after the season he had and what he's done, Aaron Judge may be like, all right, peace. I mean, the difference is Aaron Judge hasn't won a World Series and Derek Jeter had 5 of them by that point. So you can say what you want about that, but I don't know. I want Judge to stay, but I'm not going to be heartbroken if the Yankees don't want to pay him $35 million a year for the next 10 years and completely crush their payroll.
Yeah. And I mean, what are the chances that he's still like a good player, even a serviceable player after 35? I don't know.
It's very, very risky.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered the question or even what the original thing was, but I'm just put off by the fact that there seems to be this narrative that New York is all of a sudden a bad place to play. I just don't buy it.
Three very limited Googling. Zach Greinke, Max Scherzer, Joey Votto. 3 no trade clauses to the Yankees.
Yep. Give me more than 5.
Really?
I'll find them.
Greinke, huh? Greinke and Scherzer.
We knew Greinke. I knew Greinke.
I didn't know Greinke.
Greinke. That's why I was actually surprised that he went to the Dodgers, because I don't understand this whole like LA is a smaller market thing.
Yeah,
like,
no, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's why the Yankees never went after him when he went to the Dodgers. Or no, who did he get traded to? The Brewers, maybe? Whenever he got traded from the Royals, the Yankees never seriously went after him because he had the no trade, because he said it was like he knew he was a Sonny Gray. He's like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
He just had the awareness,
Votto though, Votto and Scherzer. That's really interesting.
Bumgarner.
Bumgarner, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he sucks. So I don't. That's an old one too. He's not an active player.
Chris Bryant.
I mean, he did play this year.
He sucks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's not good anymore. But speaking of bashing New York as a place to play, did you guys see the Jose Canseco thing?
Yes.
So fucking
He's an
funny.
idiot, too.
Oh my God. Yes, he is. But I gotta say, it's pretty good entertainment value. People who are listening, if you're interested in baseball, go and Google what Jose Canseco tweeted about the Yankees and Aaron Judge. It's really hilarious. Basically, he was just bashing New York and telling Judge to go somewhere else. But then at the end, apparently, of his little tweet storm, he wrote something about, by the way, Aaron Judge, I can still hit a softball farther than you can hit a baseball. If you want to see, just contact me or something like that. Like
He's
this dude is fucking unhinged. Like he is off his rocker. Holy shit. I mean, we knew that, but oh my God, like what?
And ask Jose Canseco who gave him the only World Series ring of his career.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. True. Man, but yeah, that shit cracked me up. No, it's really funny.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not trying to be. I've told both of you that I'm okay with Cashman moving into a different position and bringing in someone else to be the general manager. Like, I'm not trying to be this person that just is like, Cashman doesn't do anything wrong, the Yankees don't do anything wrong, but oh my God, the New York is a shitty place to play. I just can't buy that.
I don't. I mean, as much as I've been poking, I don't think that's the case either. But what I will say is, we've gone through this multiple times throughout the year about the impact of a manager. I do think there was a lot of negative impact from a manager in the ALCS.
Yeah.
Whether it was constantly changing the starting lineup and the batting order. Why the hell were you playing Matt Carpenter when he hadn't seen a major league pitch in 2 months?
Yeah.
What were you doing at third base? At shortstop, not third base, at shortstop. Like, why was Clark Schmidt in a high leverage position? Where was Domingo Germán? Just a number of different, very questionable decisions. Now, we've talked about it. You know, he had a bunch of. He was artificially limited by injury, a lot of really shitty injury.
Yeah.
And, you know, if Carpenter comes back and he even hits one home run in the ALCS, Boone looks like a genius. And the track record from the year shows that's a good possibility, considering Carpenter fucking showed up and hit 15 home runs and 200 at bats. So, or whatever, how many, 150 at bats or whatever he had. So, you know, the line between genius and fucking idiot is very thin.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, more choices than not ended up on fucking idiot.
Yeah. I wondered, even before, there was this really thought-provoking article written in the Atlantic, I think. Joe Paz talked about it. Ethan, maybe you saw it, about how analytics has kind of ruined the game.
I didn't read it yet, but I heard about it.
Yeah. And Matt, when you were talking about Clark Schmidt, what was it, game 1 of the ALCS?
1 or 2?
Or no, it was game 4 of the ALDS. Game 3 or game 4 of the ALDS. And the reason he was pitching was because apparently Clay Holmes wasn't available to go 2 straight games. And whatever it is. And I was thinking at the time, and I'm like, I don't know all the health details, and I don't know how those decisions all get made, but I was like, if you're a manager these days, especially in baseball, like it's probably bad in all sports, but in baseball, holy crap, has it got to be difficult to make a fucking decision on your own without people from all these different departments being in your ear about what to do and why you shouldn't. I mean, they got to be so risk averse that it's got to be ridiculously hard to to pull a trigger and just like be lightning quick like you need to be sometimes. I mean, the fact that Lance McCullers was pitching and gave up 5 homers yesterday in a World Series game, like what was Dusty Baker doing?
I know, he's
got like
shocking.
5,000 relievers,
amazing relievers
who are all better than Mariano Rivera. Like,
yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
Whoa there.
Why don't we can look at the numbers. I don't know. I don't think that is that much of an exaggeration.
I mean, maybe
Ryan
not
Stanek,
for the course of a career.
But
Ryan
for the Rays.
Ryan Stanek was fucking ridiculous this year.
Year, but he's not better than Mariano.
Maybe not over the course of a career, maybe not in the postseason, but for
opener
one
for the
season,
Rays
right now,
Miami Marlins cast off.
It just made me think, like, the question we asked hundreds of times already on this podcast, like, how much influence does a manager have? And then I just wonder, like, how much say do they actually get? I don't know.
Saying Ryan Stanek's not going to be a unanimous Hall of Famer. I'm just throwing it out there.
I will agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's in the Hall of Shame for people-wise things. But throwing that baseball, man, he's a good guy. My favorite.
Yeah. Well. Anything else for
How about
tonight?
that Kanye West?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just like the idea that even, well, first of all, did he do his research? Like when he barges into Skechers is owned by a Jewish family? Like, come on, man. What the fuck
SNL did a really great skit on that.
Oh, they did? I got to watch it.
Yeah. Definitely worthwhile. Yeah, that's a good reminder. Go vote. Early voting is open everywhere. Go fucking vote. By the time this next episode is recorded, it will be past election day.
Yeah, I voted today.
Same here.
Nice.
Dropped my ballot in the ballot box. Now, it's weird because, like, in Kentucky when I voted, like, I went to the library.
There were people with shotguns waiting.
No. In Kentucky, it was like the person at the library was like 50 feet away and said, "Oh, you're voting? Yep, right there," and just put it in and I walked away. In Pennsylvania, the ballot box wasn't even inside; it was outside the library. There were 2 people standing there. I'm assuming they were, like, one had an ID badge on from the Department of Elections, the other, I don't know. And there was like a webcam, like, videotaping me as I dropped my ballot. It was very weird. That was very weird today, but yeah.
We went
to my sticker
voting site.
That's all that matters.
Yep. So vote. Do we want to give World Series predictions? Because that'll be over by the time we record too.
I think Phillies are winning.
How many?
Well, right now it's zip in the 5th. Man, it would make me happy if it was Phillies in 5, but I think Phillies in 6 is more likely. I'll go Phillies in 6.
Yeah, Phillies are being no hit right now.
Yeah.
If the Phillies pulled it out tonight, I would say Phillies in 5, but I'll say more likely Phillies in 7.
Believe in Gritty. Believe in the fanatic. Phillies in 5.
Phillies in 5. I like it.
He's going to burn down.
So shout out to cousin Greg. We're all rooting for the Phillies. Fuck the Astros. Shout out to Toddy for her promotion.
Invest in bonds. Move your money out of stocks. Every time the Phillies win the World Series, it's an economic downturn.
Right. That's right.
Conservative portfolios right now, everyone.
Super funny.
Yeah, shout out to Toddy for being a fucking boss.
Good job, Toddy.
It's tough living here.
Yeah, I know.
All right, boys. Well, I think we did it again.
We did.
We are not undefeated.
We are still ranked higher than Syracuse.